Hi, I'm Neil Coffey here for Beatcast TV with Stephen and Richard of the Civil Twilight, here to talk about their new record, Holy Weather. So you guys are just about to release your second album, Holy Weather, which is follow-up to the 2010's critically acclaimed self-titled album. Um, but since the recording of the first one, you guys have moved to Nashville and gained another member. You guys want to tell us a little bit about how maybe that's changed your writing process for this record?
Well, we actually wrote the album as a three-piece, and then we were kind of doing it on the road, on the road and on and off the road, like being on the road because we were touring like mad, and then we made the album and realized that we couldn't possibly play it with just the three of us. So we picked Kev to join us. Asked him if he wanted to join us, and he was like, "Yes, please."
And what about the move to Nashville? Was that?
That was yeah, that was because we recorded the first record in Greenville, South Carolina. It's a tiny little town, and we were just getting a bit antsy being in a small town. We recorded the album and we hadn't been signed yet, and we were trying to find ways to tour. And so we thought, let's just move somewhere a little bigger so we can connect with people. And yeah, we just made the move to Nashville. I kind of packed our bags and did it, yeah.
And you guys are originally from South Africa as well, but you moved over to LA to sort of start doing the band a bit more professionally, I suppose. But how's that move in general? Like, why did you guys decide to do that, and what are some of the benefits or maybe hindrances that you found from making that move?
Well, I think the plan was to just go and scout the land, essentially. Well, we did that because we wanted to grow as a band, and we knew we wanted to go to the States at some stage. We thought, let's go see what we can do, and we didn't know what to expect there, obviously. So it was like quite an adventure. It was a lot of fun, and I wouldn't recommend it necessarily. But it was it's worked out. So, yeah.
But you prefer Nashville over LA then?
For now, yeah. I loved LA, but Nashville's just suited for us right now. Plus, we all found some nice woman there, and that helps,
So do you guys get to go back to South Africa much, and what's the sort of Civil Twilight following like over there?
Yeah, we get back maybe once every year or two. It's always nice going back. I mean, we love it's a beautiful country, and our following has grown since we left, actually, which is cool. So we get to go back and do shows. Usually really good shows. We were just back in December and had a great time playing there. So it's always enjoyable. Yeah.
So in general then, would you guys say you have a creative process when it comes to writing, a set creative process rather, when it comes to writing music, or does it shift and change from song to song or record to record?
We're only on our second, so it's kind of hard to say. Making the second was a very different process to the first. So I think it's always changing. I think it's good to challenge yourself with different techniques of creation,
In what way was it different from the first?
Yeah, the first record was, like a lot of bands, their first record is a collection of songs that they've played over the years, and so it was very live. The recording of the record was very live. All of us, the three of us playing in a room, and very few overdubs. And the second record, we wanted to make it a little more dense, and also concise too in its songs and lyrics and stuff. So that process was like me writing on GarageBand, and come up with parts, and because we didn't have time to sit in the studio and actually play a lot. We just had to book studio time and just jump in there and record an album within 4 weeks, and that was it. It was kind of scary. We didn't know what we were gonna get, but it turned out okay.
You mentioned there about you wanted to keep the songs quite concise, but there are lots and lots of layers and depths to the music in terms of ambient tones, and it is very heavily laden sonically, but the songs are quite simple. Is that often a difficult thing for you guys to marry together?
Yeah. Well, I find what helps is to have some sort of, as a lyricist, to have some sort of vision behind the song, some sort of backstory. You know, like I saw this list of 27 authors and the advice they're giving, and the one guy says, he said that your backstory. You know, he drew a picture on his hand, like this circle like this, and then drew a line at the top of the circle and said that's the story and that's the backstory. Make sure you work on that before you get to that, you know. And it's like that with songwriting, you know, like it helps to have a backstory behind everything you're doing, some sort of hidden secret that you yourself don't even understand, but you kind of, but it fuels you in some way behind the song. And it gives you vision when you're actually placing the song together. But I'm just rambling.
No. Well, lyrically, then, would you say you try not to approach your lyrics from like a sort of ethereal point of view? You try to have them rooted in some form of reality with a real like tangible meaning out of it to help give the song structure and focus like that? Or?
This last record is more like that than the first. Yeah, it's more based on fictional characters, or from my points of view, but me being within another character or a different situation. Different style of storytelling. To like the first record was a little more like, yeah, ethereal and dreamy and like psychedelic or something.
Is there sort of a reason then that you try to you approach the lyrical standpoint from not perhaps your own personal point of view, but from someone else's point of view, or a story like that? Is that a protection mechanism, or is that?
Possibly, you know, someone might say that, but I think it's, for me, it just helps me dive into. It's like acting when you know you get given a script, or you write a script, and you role play essentially, you know, and you're diving inside this character, and when you do that, you know, if you do that enough, and with enough intensity, you yourself are your character's gonna shine through somewhere in that character. Yeah, your personality and your loves and everything. So you can't really help, but you can't hide completely, you know. But it was just like, for me, for this album, it was just a helpful technique, you know, to get inside the songs. Yes. Yeah.
So you guys have also had the chance to tour with some pretty amazing bands like the Chili Peppers and the Flaming Lips. How has playing shows with those guys sort of changed your approach to your own live show and maybe touring in general? Yeah,
well, when you're dealing with bands of such high caliber, some of them, you know, some of them we've played with in a band's live, you never know what you're going to get off, and like, you know, I'm sure you've had this situation where you're excited to see this band that's supposed to be really good and famous, and then they get too drunk or stupid, and then they fuck it up, you know. Anyway, I don't know why I went on that, but yeah, but it's been fun playing with these guys, because it does take your show, and it's like if you have to follow up or open for someone like that, you know, you have to bring everything you have, and it really helps you to rise up and be the best you can be.
I suppose it gives you a real insight into being a professional band,
yeah.
Which I suppose you guys are just sort of starting to get into being a professional band, where it is your, you know, so what you do on a daily basis. Was that always the goal for you guys, to become a professional touring band? Yeah,
definitely. I mean, I've wanted to do this since I was like 15 years old, you know. But we wanted to tour for years and years, and when we first got our booking agent, always said to him, just put us on the road, and don't stop us, just like, you know. And we did that, and for like almost 2 years straight, and we kind of got a bit wrecked, you know, on the road doing that. But it's never what you think it's going to be, but it's something that we've always wanted to do, and to be able to do it full time, it's amazing, you know.
What can people expect from a Civil Twilight live show then?
A lot of passion. Yeah. And then also the songs, we don't like to, try and duplicate what we've done on the record live as much, so we just kind of, you'll get something different, completely different to the record, actually.
So you touched on it a second ago about this sort of becoming your profession, and how that was a dream when you were younger. Do you ever get worried that now that it is becoming a profession, that it's going to become an obligation? I've talked to a lot of bands who say that they worry about the marriage between making money out of their band and it being their creative outlet. Do you guys have any of those worries at all, or are you just riding the high for now?
Yeah, that's a tough one, man. What would you say, Rich?
It's like the constant tension. I think I feel like we've been back and forth, but it is a challenge to stay inspired and creative. I think if you can keep that at the core and keep focused on what's most important, you'll be okay. It's when you sort of neglect those things that are the most important that it begins to become more difficult.
And how do you guys go about maintaining that sort of perspective on things?
How do we?
Sometimes we struggle,
I think we're all learning how to do that better and better. But
yeah.
For me, it's just about firstly like recognizing that element is at play, and then like making an effort to just do things that like inspire you creatively and expose yourself to that stuff, and not forget about where you came from and where you started, and get into new music and enjoy it, Yeah.
Fun above everything else, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you gotta appreciate the fact that you are living your childhood dream, and not take it for granted. I think that changes quite a lot. You can keep that perspective.
Yeah, I think the people that are the happiest in this industry are the ones that can maintain that perspective well.
Yeah.
It's hard to do sometimes, but yeah.
Cool. And so what's next for Civil Twilight?
Well, we go to Germany tomorrow, and then we do a few things there, do some shows there and stuff, and then we get back from this, and we're kind of like gonna get ready to start writing for the next project. Actually, we want to like take as much time as possible to cultivate the next musical season, So that's the thing. We kind of have a few shows in festivals and stuff in the summer, but other than that.
Do you guys have any little spores of songs yet started?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, there's a few.
And is it in a similar sort of vein to the last one, or are you guys going to try to...
I don't know yet. I can't really say. A lot of it's very, very different, yeah. Very different to the last two records. Well, now we have Kev in the band too, and he's writing songs for the next record as well, and going to be singing on the next record. So it's going to be like a different thing, different band. But yeah, I'm excited.
Well, good luck on discovering what the next record is going to be like. And thank you guys so much for sitting down with me. I really appreciate it, guys. Have a good show tonight.
Thank you.